Meow. This is a homebrew video where I show off what I've made. It's for a future book I might release called Kobold's Guide to Martials. This one is a subclass for Rogue. Rogue is famously known for having the worst subclasses out of all the martials in the game, and that's for two reasons really. One, the features are weak. And two, when you pick a subclass at level 3, you have to wait till level 9 to get your next subclass feature. That's the biggest kick in the nuts. And when you finally get that level 9 feature, it's usually bad, which makes the progression boring. It's not like you're getting a new pack slot or anything. These subclasses and Rogue in general lean heavily on class identity and concepts rather than mechanical power. This is a lava hot take for people, and I'm kind of oblivious to why. My guess is people just haven't thought about it or heard enough people say what I say. The Rogue subclasses are just factually starved of features. We can see it. Look at that progression. By the time you get your next subclass feature, casters have 5th level spells and everyone else is pretty much ready to get their 3rd subclass progression feature, if they didn't multiclass. The only good subclass that exists for Rogue is Arcane Trickster, because you get more subclass features earlier than the other subclasses. They have spell progression, and that feels really good. It's not a barren wasteland, and they're also mechanically powerful, well, compared to other rogues. They've got more resources, and spells are better than features. But Kobold! Every rogue subclass can't just be Arcane Trickster! Correct. Unfortunately, we have to follow D&D's progression design for the subclass, which is terrible in my opinion. So we're gonna ramp this up to something super fun and powerful, and we're gonna make it strong enough to get you to progress to level 9 and hopefully beyond. Welcome to Pack Tactics, where we play Mugenics! I guess we're just playing Mugenics songs for this subclass. By the way, this subclass isn't inspired by this game. It's inspired by my jealousy of casters. These rogues specialize in copying spells that spellcasters sling simply by observing how they weave them. They are perfect imitators, but their memory is short-lived. They don't have a spell progression at all. Their power is really dependent on the party's casters or enemy casters. So really this subclass is balanced to whatever the party is. And of course what they're casting. There's randomness to this subclass. I know people love randomness, and this is my take on randomness. The first feature is Copy Spell. When you see a creature other than yourself cast an evocation or illusion spell that has a casting time of an action, you can use your reaction to memorize that spell and cast it as an action on your turn without expending a spell slot or needing material components. Dexterity is your spellcasting ability for the spell. When you end your turn, you forget the spell. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. This is a very different spin on the Arcane Trickster and Warlock especially. It has insanely powerful scaling. The higher level you are, the more powerful spells you'll see, and you'll have more ammunition as well. I limit it to just Invocation or Illusion, which is still pretty insane. Keep in mind, this ignores casting time and material components. If you see your friend cast Fireball, you can copy and cast Fireball on your turn. If you see a Hypnotic Pattern, you can copy and cast that. I'm even letting you copy and cast Simulacrum if you see it. The goal is to make you as strong as the casters in your party. As you progress, this feature is going to get a lot better. Right now, you're like a long rest warlock and very clingy. For a full caster multiclassing into this, it's not that good because 3 levels into Rogue is pretty deep. This feature also takes a reaction, which means you can't cast a shield spell that round. And it's technically a worse warlock. You can't copy your own spells and cast them. Team comboing is required. But I feel like if Simulacrum is at play, then it's worth investigating into, which I'm not against. I just don't want this subclass to be another 3-level dip subclass and rest in something else kind of deal. Especially for full casters, they're eating too well. By the way, I tied the spellcasting to dexterity for multiple reasons, but the biggest one I imagine is you're casting the spell so fast that it completely throws off the enemies. Anyways, the next feature is a ribbon feature. Voice actor. You can mimic the sounds of other humanoid creatures' speech perfectly. This is just pure fun. It might give you advantage and stuff. I Just left it to the DM, really. This is an encouragement to get you to roleplay more. Exactly. Now let's get into the 9th level feature. Better understanding. The copy spell feature can now copy enchantment, evocation, illusion, or transmutation spells. In addition, you can now regain all your expended uses of the copy spell feature when you finish a short or long rest. Now you're neck and neck with Warlock. Well, sort of. I hope this is a chunky enough of a reward to get you to progress to this level. This is really where I need your feedback. Is this feature good enough for you? Would you guys play this rogue to level 9? If the answer is yes, then I've accomplished my goal. The only reason why I made this video is because I want the feedback here. Anyways, let's move on to the next feature at level 13. Quick Fling. When you memorize a spell through the copy spell feature, you can cast a spell as an action or bonus action on your turn. Now you can do your action attack and copy and fling a spell. It's a huge damage increase potentially. You're a damage dealer, of course, so you need it. But keep in mind you can't disengage if you attack and cast a spell. Now for the capstone, copy any spell. That includes Wish, for example. I'm actually not sure if this is strong enough as a capstone. And also this does have a similar bug to Wish, but honestly worse. When you cast Magic Jar through Wish, you ignore the component cost, which means you don't require the container. Rules as written, how the hell does that work? Nobody knows. Most DMs rule that the container spawns with the Wish, because, well, it's Wish. Here with this capstone, if you see someone cast Magic Jar, you can't just spawn the container. It's not like Wish. So this is terrible game design from me. So I'll most likely change this. I know I shouldn't show things like this on video because I look like a terrible game designer at that point. But I'm not a game designer and I like to speak whatever's on my mind and what I'm doing. Transparency is part of tabletop etiquette. And I've always believed that productive negativity is a positive thing. Anyways, that's basically it. I'm mostly curious what you guys would do for the capstone. It doesn't have to be copy spell related necessarily. It just needs to be fun and powerful enough to motivate you to progress this deep. Please tell me in the comments. Also tell me if the 9th level feature is worth the painful progression. That's more important than the capstone, really. Out of all the subclasses I've made so far, this is the most balanced to the party. Like, it doesn't matter if the party is high optimization or no optimization. This subclass's power aligns to the party. The martial caster divide is solved here. Well, haha. Debatably, they still have a resource advantage. Anyways, end the video. Oh, one more thing. I know a lot of people loved the Barbarian subclass I made and the other fighters, and have been asking for PDFs. I'm not putting out any PDFs because I'm turning this into a product. A book. And right now, I'm at the actual hard parts. So if you want this to come out faster, please consider donating to my Patreon. Right now, this needs a lot of art for every subclass. And of course, I need the front cover of the book and stuff. I think besides that, I've got everything figured out. I'll keep you tuned, because I'm basically treating this like a blog. Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye-bye!